Museveni, Bobi Wine, people of Uganda, listen to me. When a government shuts down the internet 2 days before a high-stakes election, that is not public safety, that is fear. Fear of the people, fear of the youth, fear of the truth going viral on TikTok, YouTube, X, and every live stream that can expose what happens at the polling stations. The Ugandan authorities pulled the plug. No WhatsApp, no X, no connection. But who created the conditions for distrust? When the same man has ruled for 40 years, when opposition rallies are blocked and activists are jailed, when every election trend looks like a copy-paste of the last result, people do not believe your words anymore. Yoweri Museveni is terrified. He is afraid because the African youth are no longer sleeping. They are waking up to the reality of digital sovereignty. Bobi Wine, they have cut your voice because your message is a vibration that can shatter their glass palaces. To the youth of Kampala and beyond, the internet is a tool, but your resolve is a weapon. You don't need a signal to know that the time for the elders to rest has come. This isn't just an election. It's a test of our Pan-African spirit. The revolution will not be televised, and in 2026, it won't be posted. It will be lived in the streets, homeland or death. They have banned the rights groups. On the eve of the 2026 election, the state-run NGO Bureau ordered Chapter 4 Uganda and the Human Rights Network for journalists to halt their work immediately. Why? They claim these organizations are prejudicial to national security. In Africa today, there is a new phrase we must learn: internet blackout democracy. From Uganda to Ethiopia, from Sudan to the Congo, too many regimes now follow the same script. Elections come, tension rises, and suddenly the network goes dark in the name of security. They pretend this is about stopping fake news, but the real goal is to stop real news from reaching the world. Museveni, you are not the first to do this. Others shut down Facebook, blocked WhatsApp, throttled Twitter, slowed YouTube until live streams died in buffering. They say they are protecting peace, yet it is always the ruling party's narrative that remains online on state TV. When independent media, rights groups, and digital activists are silenced while the government's voice keeps broadcasting, that is not fighting disinformation. That is manufacturing one official lie. To the youth watching from Kampala's streets and the diaspora, understand, whenever you see internet shutdown trending before election results, you are not witnessing stability. You are witnessing fear management. The blackout is not a sign of strength. It is the confession of a regime that cannot trust its own citizens with a simple connection. President Museveni, let us speak plainly. A leader who trusts his mandate does not fear Wi-Fi, 4G, or live streams on YouTube and TikTok. A leader who truly believes his people are with him does not order telecoms to pull the plug on an entire nation just days before voting. When you cut the internet, you are not defending Uganda, you are defending your seat. You say you are protecting national security, but from whom? From terrorists, or from smartphone cameras, from foreign agents, or from Ugandan youth going live at polling stations, filming ballot stuffing, intimidation, and ghost voters? If your security depends on darkness, then your system is built on shadows, not legitimacy. 40 years in power is already a message to Africa. Coups, crackdowns, and now a 2026 internet blackout are adding a new chapter to that story. You can switch off Facebook, slow X, and block WhatsApp. But you cannot switch off the memory of a generation that watched you silence them in real time. Power that fears the camera is power that knows it can no longer survive the light. Bobi Wine, brother, your name now travels with hashtags, protest clips, and broken microphones. They try to box you in as just an opposition candidate, but what you represent is larger. The anger of an African youth tired of 40-year regimes and elections that feel pre-decided. When Uganda's rulers cut the internet, they were trying to cut your voice, but they also proved your point. They fear the ghetto youth you sing for, the boda riders who share your clips on WhatsApp, the university students streaming your rallies on TikTok and YouTube. That is why they turn the entire country into airplane mode before the vote. They know that in the age of smartphones, ballot box tricks and midnight counting rooms are harder to hide. Understand this. Your battle is no longer only Kampala versus State House. From Ouagadougou to Lagos, from Nairobi to Johannesburg, there is a generation watching how Uganda treats you. Your courage or your silence will send a signal across the continent. If they break you quietly, many leaders will learn they can black out, ban, and beat their opponents, and the world will move on. Ugandan youth, listen closely. When they cut your data, they think they have cut your power. But you are the real internet of this nation. Long before TikTok trends and YouTube shorts, revolutions spread from mouth to ear, from street to street. Today, a blackout slows the signal, but it cannot erase your hunger for change. Do not let the blackout convince you that you are alone. The diaspora is watching, Africa is watching, the world is watching. Through VPNs, proxies, and every mirror account that refuses to go dark. They can shut down the network, but they cannot shut down your conversations, your organizing, your courage. Remember this: regimes that fear young people with phones are regimes that know their time is already ticking. When a regime shuts down the internet, it is already attacking the eyes and ears of the people. But when it also orders human rights groups and election observers to halt their workdays before the vote, it is killing the witnesses. In Uganda, 2 major NGOs were told to stop operations right as the blackout began. This is not coincidence, it is choreography. Museveni, you know exactly what you are doing. You remove the cameras, then you remove the note takers. You silence the local monitors who document intimidation, disappearances, and fraud. You push out international observers or restrict their movements, and when the results arrive, you say, there was no evidence of irregularities. Of course there is no evidence, because you banned the people whose job is to collect it. To the people of Uganda, understand this playbook. When NGOs are smeared as foreign agents and threats to sovereignty right before elections, it is usually not because they are planning a coup, it is because they might expose one. Internet off, NGOs out. That is the perfect environment for the manufacturing of peaceful election results that were written long before you cast your vote. Some will say, this is not a coup, this is constitutional. There are courts, election commissions, observers. But listen to the logic of digital dictatorship. Instead of tanks on the streets, you roll out shutdown orders to telecom companies. Instead of burning ballot boxes, you suffocate live streams and data traffic. The method is modern, but the spirit is the same. Hold power at any cost. Museveni, you have simply updated the toolbox. Where past dictators stuffed newspapers and jammed radios, you now throttle bandwidth and pull the plug on social media. To Africans watching this on YouTube after the blackout lifts, do not be fooled by the smooth language of 21st century repression.